Today we're at Gasworks Park. It is July 25th.
I think so.
And we are with
Joe D'Amelio.
Kevin Liu.
Alright, so tell us, what brings you out to Seattle?
So we're trying to really push a movement. It's called Roundabout USA. Through Instagram you can find us. I'm sitting in God's palm. This is
Sweat Engine.
Sweat Engine. And pretty much what we're just trying to do is try to get people out of their comfort zone a little bit. So we're two guys. I worked as a butcher trying to be a cop in New York City.
I used to be an engineer. I was just so bored with my job, so I wanted to see the world.
Kevin and I met through Instagram, but before that I quit my job as a butcher, trying to, I really wanted to be an explorer. As a kid I was always an explorer, so I figured I had to do that as an adult. So I found somebody who was willing to invest in my idea for a book, to travel across the country and meet people and all that. And through that process I had met Kevin about 3 weeks ago, and he really wanted to go on the trip too. And I didn't want to not let him go because he was so passionate about it, so I said let's go. So I went back to the investor, told him about it, and the investor pretty much said, you have two options. One, take the money and go by yourself, or you take your buddy Kevin and no money. And I couldn't help but take Kevin. So we said goodbye to the money, we put our money together, and 6,000 miles later we're here in Seattle. Chicago was really cool.
Chicago was one of my favorite cities on this road trip.
A lot of good people. Everybody's been real genuine and generous. I think that's what we weren't
feel
really expecting.
The more west we go, people are getting nicer. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, good thing.
So we're at the point where people are supposed to be the nicest right here.
Yeah.
And I would say about 2 days ago in Yellowstone, I saw a wild bear. That was life-changing. And I jumped off a cliff. And a week before that, I went skydiving.
Whoa.
So I've never done any of these things.
Wow.
And my life has just been transformed so much by Instagram and by people around that I've met along the way. So this is something refreshing and something unexpected in many, many ways.
And this is why I knew if I brought Kevin along, this would be amazing. Kevin's like a little kid. He's able to see all these things for the first time, where I've done a lot of these things except for the travel part.
Right.
So to see the excitement in him changes me a little bit too. We're having dinner with a couple people who we don't even know.
Yeah.
Which is really what we wanted to do. Just meet as many people as possible and just see as many cities and places we can. And then after this, we'll be heading to San Francisco tomorrow. We're meeting more people and trying to spread the word for people to sort of get out of their comfort zone and go do things they've never done before.
So how many cities do you think you'll visit before you go back home?
You know, the good thing about this trip is we're
just
completely living on serendipity.
We let the trip take us.
All right.
We don't know yet.
It's supposed to be 2 months.
Okay.
But we can see that we really sped this trip up for San Francisco.
Right.
And on the way home, I think we're going to try to take our time. So sometime in September, I'm assuming.
Or whenever our money runs out.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Whichever comes first.
Yeah. Whenever our
That's
savings
awesome.
runs out, which could be any day now.
And then when you get back, are you going to go back to doing what you were doing before, or?
It's a really good question.
I've been enjoying this too much. I mean, I've been doing what I was doing for a long time, and I couldn't grow. And here, I feel free, and I feel connected to the world. I feel grounded, and I feel organic. So I really want to just keep going with this and see the world more. Maybe go somewhere else.
I feel like a kid again.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
You know,
Too
being
much
adult,
fun.
there was nothing fun about being an adult. You know, bills and all that stuff. Of course, you got to pay your bills and stuff, but you really have to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
I finally feel like I'm really enjoying myself. It took me a long time to get back to that feeling. So, who knows what we're going to do. I hope that we can continue this sort of travel thing, just trying to really inspire people to do it. That's, from what, I mean, people have really been telling us they've been inspired, and that's just amazing to me. To think that two guys from Jersey could inspire anybody.
And I think this experience is something completely different than what people are used to, because we're doing this not just traveling, because we're actually meeting people through Instagram. So that's a new platform that hasn't been, tapped in previously. And I encourage people to reach out through social media and through, non-conventional ways to just connect with people, because part of this trip is to meet people and see, in addition to seeing things, meeting people is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I couldn't do that with my old job, and so I'm just talking to everyone, whenever I get a chance.
Yeah. Connection is key. Yeah. This is what this is all about.
Well, the funny thing is, we started this trip is all about photos. That's all this trip's gonna be about. Photos. Meeting people here and there, try to inspire people if we can. That didn't really make the biggest difference to us. When we got to Chicago, things started to really evolve into something else, where the trip was really, like you said before, it was taking us to a different level.
Yeah.
We didn't, the connections we were making with people was really the most important thing to me. In fact, I don't remember the last time I took a picture. I got to really say that, which is kind of silly because that's what this whole trip was about. But for us, it's really just been about meeting people and hearing about what they want, what their what they want to journey and all that stuff. That's really become something of mine that I grown to become passionate about. I really want to know where people want to go, what they want to do, and try to get them to do it rather than be afraid because you got kids and this and that. It's understood. You don't have to quit your job and do what we did. That we did that just so we could try to get people going. But you can go for a day trip. You can go for a weekend trip. You can go and just see what else is out there. There's a lot out there. It's a big world.
Well, I'm glad I was able to come out here and meet you guys then.